Hello, friends. Today we're going to talk about complaining and when it's appropriate and when it's not. So I'm going to see you in a minute. Hi, friends. This is Bethany Jennings, and you're listening to We Should Talk. It's a podcast where we talk about anything and everything to encourage, equip, and empower you to be a decent human. Let's talk. Okay, as promised, we will be talking about complaining today. Not necessarily the science behind it, but just like the life side of things. I mean, I guess we could talk about the science of it if you want to. But the setting for you today, as we have this conversation, I am in a hotel room in, where am I? In North Little Rock. Onyx and Silas were playing with some kitchen utensils that were in the kitchenette of the hotel room. We're just big chilling, no big deal. We're about to get dressed for church. But I just want to talk just real quick, just the quickest second, about complaining. Believe it or not, there are ways to effectively complain, but I really wouldn't call it complaining if it is effective. In my opinion, complaining is useless. Now, it may feel like a release of pressure and tension to explode on someone or to share your discontent with another human, but it's actually kind of selfish because you are sharing your discontent instead of handling it, managing it, or removing yourself from the situation you're complaining about. So this is when it's not number one, the most inappropriate time to complain is when you created the situation yourself. Let's just get that out of the way. Do not complain to me if you made the mess you're in. You might as well go find a mirror and complain to that person, because I can't fix what you messed up. If you messed it up, you're going to have to clean it up. I tell my toddler this: clean up what you mess up. It's that simple. What did you say? Exactly, Onyx. Clean up what you mess up. No, thank you. That's dangerous. Don't do that. Clean up what you mess up. He knows that. He's 2. We have 20-plus-year-olds who are not getting the message. You are creating situations that are a mess. You are being messy and then complaining to everyone around you about how messy your life is. If you don't want a messy life, quit making messes. If you don't want a messy life, get out of messy situations, messy relationships, messy settings. Just get away from it. If you don't want messy, get away from messy. But don't go out and create an issue. Don't be a permissive and lackluster parent and then come complain to me or your spiritual leadership or whoever about how your child is not the person they need to be, about how you just feel like you are failing at life. Well, maybe you are, so fix it. This is what I know. If you don't get it right in those first few years with your kids, it's much harder to get it right later. You know, it's worth me sacrificing a few years of complete and total freedom to do what I want, to have decent humans for children, okay? So let's not complain about everything going on around us when we created what's going on around us. People out here complaining about, I just don't know why my child is so disrespectful to me. Well, first of all, did you teach them how to be respectful? Did you demonstrate and model respect for them? I don't know why my child just ignores authority. Are you respecting and listening to authority? Have you demonstrated that skill for them? I don't know why my child is making poor choices. Have you let them be around people who make poor choices? I don't know why my child is going out and hiding things from me. Have you allowed them to hang out with people who are really good at hiding things from people? The first stop on the complaint train is you. Check yourself before you go complaining about the situation. Don't complain about your child. Don't complain about your spouse. Don't complain about your work setting. Check yourself first. What am I doing? Is there something I can do to fix this? It's inappropriate to complain about a situation you made. It's also inappropriate to complain about a situation about which you are making assumptions. You're just walking around here assuming something happened, assuming someone felt a certain way, assuming something is the truth, instead of going and checking the facts. That is immaturity. And quite frankly, it's laziness. Because you don't want to put the footwork in to go do what you got to do. Footwork's fancy. You don't want to go put the legwork in to go do what you got to do. You knew what I meant. You got to go walk around and figure it out. You can't just assume your boss was being snarky to you because they made one statement. Maybe you took it the wrong way. Maybe they were referring to something else. I don't know. How about you go to them like scripture says? It says if you think somebody's got aught against you, go to them. Talk about it. Talk to them, not about them. Talk about the situation to them, not about them to everyone else in the building. If this sounds like I'm ranting a little bit, maybe I am. You can't make assumptions. You can't. And if you feel the need to complain, let's start with I statements. I feel this way. I think this way. I believe this way. Not, you did this to me and you did that to me and you. No, I. The only thing you can control in that conversation is yourself. You go to somebody instead of saying, you're always mean to me and they always do this and these people do. Back up. Why don't you talk about how you feel about a situation? I feel very upset when this happens. I feel very hurt when blah, 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 blah. Right? That's not complaining. That's you stating how you feel. And again, I might be a broken record. Your feelings may be real, but they are not always reality. I feel cheated when, well, maybe they're not cheating you. I feel held back when my pastor doesn't let me do this and that. I feel held back when my spouse disagrees with me going here and doing that with so-and-so. Maybe they're not trying to hold you back. Maybe they're trying to protect you. Guardrails and fences look very similar, but guardrails are to protect you. Let me check on Silas. Hold on a minute. Okay, I might have to stop this again. I keep starting it and having to stop it because Silas is putting his toy, aka kitchen utensils, down and then complaining about it. Is that not what we're talking about? Complaining about a situation you created. But he's 9 months old. I don't know what our excuse is. So anyways, we've talked about don't complain about situations you made. Don't complain about the situation that you are just making assumptions about. You can talk about a situation that's not positive, but come with a solution. It should be in an effort to problem solve, not in an effort to problem create. Socially speaking, and I mentioned this earlier. Oh, be careful, buddy, with throwing. Socially speaking, and I mentioned this earlier, when you're negative around people, you make those people negative. And then you're just surrounded by more negativity and more darkness and more gloom and. So, again, I do not suggest this method. Scientifically speaking, one of the first lessons a neuroscience student learns is synapses that fire together, wire together. What does that mean? Well, in your brain, there's a collection of synapses separated by empty space, right? There's space between the two synapses. And so the space is called a synaptic cleft. So whenever you have a thought, one synapse is going to shoot a chemical across the cleft, across this opening, across the cleft, to another synapse, thus building a bridge. The chemical is a bridge over which an electric signal can cross. So it carries a charge with the I'm trying to think, that's a lot of words, a lot of nerdy things. So the chemical makes a bridge and it sends an electrical signal, and the signal is carrying in its charge the relevant information you're thinking about. There's a guy, his name's Parton, that talks about this a lot. Here's the thing. Every time the electrical charge is triggered, the synapses grows closer. It grows closer together because it wants to decrease the distance that the charge has to go, that the charge has to travel, right? So when one synapse it's firing to the other synapse and it's making this chemical bridge, and then the electrical current goes over, the synapses are growing closer together because your brain is trying to be efficient. So it's trying to decrease the distance and decrease the effort it has to make to get that electrical charge and the message across. So the brain is rewiring its own circuitry when that happens. The brain starts to physically alter and change itself to make it easier to get the message across. And then it's more likely that the proper synapses will share the chemical link. And it will spark, quote unquote, together, making it easier for the thought to trigger. So what am I saying? I know that was a lot of science all at once. So having a thought, this is the layman's terms. Having a thought makes it easier to have that thought again. That's not a good thing if you are perpetually negative and gloomy and you're exercising negativity, and it is creating a thought path that becomes easier and easier and easier to travel. That being said, you can flip it, and then when something happens and you force yourself to have a positive thought to replace the negative thought, your synapses are growing closer and closer together there. And it's like, oh, okay, I know when this happens, it's no big deal. It's no big deal. I tell Onyx that all the time. It's no big deal, because my lovely 2-year-old is about 2 seconds from a meltdown when something does not go the way that his brain thought it should go, because he's trying to figure out patterns in life. And if something goes not according to pattern, he's like, oh my word, the world's falling apart. So our saying right now is, it's no big deal. It's no big deal. And we say it just like that, and we wave our hand. It's no big deal. So I'm trying to wire his brain to say, when things don't go the way I think they should, it's no big deal. So being constantly negative makes it easier to be negative. Being grateful, being positive, it builds up your positivity synapses and muscles, I guess. So repeated negative thoughts make it easier to think negative, but they also make it more likely that negative thoughts will occur just randomly, right? So it's not always every time my alarm clock goes off, I get so mad. No, it becomes so much your nature that you'll just be walking down the road and immediately start thinking negative things. So being consistently negative, oh, honey, what is it? What is it? Are you okay? He needs some attention. Oh, Onyx, I think he wants you to play with him. So being consistently negative starts to push your personality towards negativity. So you're not just, man, she's really been negative lately. No, she's a negative person. She's really been struggling lately, and she's been complaining to me. No, she's a complainer. That is part of your identity now. So anyways, that's the science behind it. So just think about it, okay? The next time you complain, I want you to think about, oh my goodness, I am literally creating roads to negativity in my brain. Let's dig a new road. It's not going to be easy the first time, right? But the more you walk a path, like in real life, in the woods, he's not even upset right now. He's just making noise. The more you walk a path, like in real life, like you're in the woods, the more a path is walked, the easier it gets to walk, right? So just work on that. And your stress hormones too. Cortisol, too much cortisol will mess you up. And when you're complaining, you're giving... Dude, what's wrong? I wish I could see this. He's just scrunching that face up. Ain't a tear inside. He's just talking at me. Oh, you got your pappy. That's better. He's getting better about putting things in his mouth, which could be a bad thing. Anyways, like he puts his little food in his mouth, his little pappy. It's so sweet to watch him grow. Anyways, cortisol will mess you up. And when you're getting into the negativity, you're creating a stress on yourself. You're perpetuating stress. You're creating a stress hormone. And then when you think about the fact that you've already made it easy for yourself to be negative, and now you just got random negativity happening as you're walking down the street and driving down the road, whatever, that is duplicating the stress hormone. It's so bad for you. Anyways, it is not appropriate to complain. When you made the situation, it is not appropriate to complain when you're making assumptions. It is literally killing you. You have the power to restructure your brain. That is amazing. We are powerful, powerful creatures. We just got to use our power. Anyways, I know this got real sciencey and real nerdy. I'm going to go get ready for church now. Love y'all. Bye. Also, we're back. I'm just going to say this now while I'm thinking about it. Apparently, my life is not set up in a way that I can consistently get episodes out on a Monday. I don't know. Maybe eventually I can get back to it. But this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to maybe try, hopefully, to drop episodes on Wednesdays. It may or may not work. I don't know. But we're going to try to drop it on Wednesdays. So who doesn't need a little pick-me-up in the middle of the week? We'll try it. I'm sorry if this ruins anyone's life, but this is what hopefully will work for my life. Okay, bye guys. Well, that was fun. I'm glad you stuck around for the whole thing, and thank you for talking to me today. Y'all go like and follow and review and do all the podcast things that people do, and don't forget to be a good human.